Welcome to the Elite Life Podcast with your hosts, Trisha and Kylee. Here, we guide you on a journey of personal and professional transformation, revealing the secrets to success. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, join us as we unlock the doors to the elite world of growth, grit, and grace. So, let's dive in.
Welcome, friends, to another episode of the Elite Life Podcast. We are so glad that you're here with us today. My name's Trisha.
I'm Kylee. I'm Smiley Kylee.
Smiley Kylee is here with us, and we are so glad you are listening to what is going to be an absolutely amazing two-part episode.
Yes.
Today will be part one, and you got to tune in next Thursday to get part two.
I loved putting this outline together because, it's going to be so good. I nerded and geeked out all over the place. So today we have put together a list of 12 amazing books that have impacted our lives and businesses. Each one offers different insights, different perspectives on personal and professional development to help you take things to the next level. So this is like 12 books to a better you, 12 books, 12 months. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and it's going to give you actionable takeaways. So if you are not a reader, do not hit end because we are going to give you the inspiring nuggets.
We read the books for you.
Yeah, we're going to give you the goods.
Yeah.
The goods.
Let's give them the goods. Give the people what they want.
All right. Let's talk about Max Out by Ed Mylett first.
Yeah. So in Max Out, Ed Mylett really challenges his readers to break free from mediocrity and push beyond their perceived limits. So he was drawing a lot from his personal experiences and his coaching life and his performances. So he offers really actionable advice to help readers just maximize their potential in all acts of life, all areas of life, their health, their career, their relationships, personal development. This book is so jam-packed with motivation. It's filled with insights on mindset and habits and resilience. And it really is it's really designed to inspire you to relentlessly pursue your dreams and achieve extraordinary results. And I know you read this.
Yeah, I love this book. This is one of my top three that when somebody gets into personal and professional development, this is one of the top three that I suggest they read first. And there's a couple reasons why. Number one, it is a quick and easy read.
Okay.
It is not daunting. It is very short. The print is large, and you begin it and end it. I think I read it in 2 days on a hockey trip with Trent. So I loved it because it's fast, it's easy, it gives you the goods, and you're in and out, and you're you're fired up. So it's a great beginner book. But it's a great book for anybody because you get some really strong nuggets on how success begins with self-discipline. So you can start small as long as you stay consistent. So he really emphasizes the power of small disciplined actions repeated daily. Success isn't about these big monumental changes overnight. It's about developing habits that align with your goals and then sticking to them. And he encourages readers to identify key areas of their lives where consistency matters the most and take control of your routine to create a lasting impact. Because if you want a lasting impact, you have to start small and build. When people try to dump the purse upside down, like I always use as the analogy, it doesn't work because it's too overwhelming. So that is another reason why I love this book for beginners in personal development, because it can start so small, just committing to a morning routine. It could just be waking up 15 minutes earlier to journal or to plan your day, and the ripple
effect. Or just
effect.
to sit in the quiet. Let me tell you, I set my alarm for 5:30 with all intentions of getting out of bed by 5:45. But I made it a nighttime routine to make my coffee, to put it on the delay. So when I get up, I don't have to do that. And I get up, I get out of bed, I turn my lights on, I have my coffee. And I will tell you, on the mornings where maybe I'm not feeling good and I really do need that extra time, my day goes to poop. So like really, it doesn't have to be this like elaborate morning routine, but having a morning routine of just like getting up and doing one extra thing, like Trisha said, journaling. I do my Bible reading in the morning. It sets me up for success for the day. It's really, really a great, great way to just really make a huge impact on your life with a very small thing.
Yeah, I love that. And then the next thing that he talks about a lot is like getting comfortable with being uncomfortable so that you can grow, because growth happens outside your comfort zone. Mylett believes that to max out your potential, you have to intentionally seek challenges that stretch you, because fear and discomfort are signals that you're on the verge of something great, and pushing through those feelings really helps to build resilience and confidence. And I talk about this all the time. I was voice memoing my friend Nicole because I was telling you about in a previous episode how I'm doing that coast to coast bike ride.
Yeah.
So this bike ride is from one side of Michigan to the other side of Michigan. It's like 240 miles.
Because why not?
Why not? And here's why. Why is because it's going to be super uncomfortable for me. I am not good at riding a bike. I am not comfortable on a bike.
You're not good at riding a bike?
I'm not. I'm really not. I feel like I missed like that part of like
childhood.
Yeah. Or maybe it's just because I did it when I was little and then I didn't do it again until like a couple years ago when COVID happened and we got bikes. I fell on our first family bike ride. I wiped out huge
Joe
twice.
Biden style, just
Twice.
off the bike. See,
rolling, like flipping down a hill and laughing maniacally at the bottom.
I feel like I don't ride a bike because my rear end is not designed to ride a bike. And so I feel like if you could gift me anything for Christmas, give me a big giant rear end seat for my bike.
But here's the thing, like my friend was like, we voice memo each other. She voice memos me. She's up at like 4:30 in the morning and she's like, I'm not feeling very motivated right now about this new challenge for next year. And I reply to her later on in the day and I'm like, well, first of all, don't start trying to get yourself excited at 4:30 in the morning. Okay.
Nothing is exciting at 4:30 in the morning.
We're just waking up. I said, and here is why I do this, because I know it's going to make me uncomfortable. It is a big, hairy, audacious goal. And it's going to set me up for success to get comfortable with something that's totally outside of my comfort zone. It will give me something to focus on for a good half of a year that I will have to show up consistently so that I can build all these small steps to equal this one big goal. And once I get it done, I have something gigantic that was completely outside of my comfort zone that I accomplished. And now the next big hard thing, I'm going to be like, well, if I could do that, I could do that. If I could do that, I could do that. And that's how I started in everything. Like, okay, if we could get through this really hard year as a teeny tiny brokerage, now that we're a big brokerage, even though chaos is happening in the industry, we're going to make it through. We made it with like 3 agents. We could definitely make it with 80 agents. Like when you do these things that are way outside your comfort zone, they help you remember that you can do these big things.
Yeah. And I like how he focuses on like starting small. So he gives the example of like, if public speaking terrifies you, but it's essential for your career, maybe you've been promoted and now part of your new job is to train people, right? So maybe start small, practice in front of a mirror, practice in front of a group that you're comfortable with. Like when I was doing stand-up, I would line all of the girls' stuffed animals and my best friend would come over and she would be the only live person there. But it didn't feel like I was, because when I tell jokes to myself, I'm absolutely hilarious, but when I was practicing to be uncomfortable and be on stage in front of people I don't know, in front of a group that I don't know how they're going to receive my jokes or my punchlines, it was really nice to be able to have that start small. And I would do that a couple times. And then I would bring my husband in. Like I didn't even start with my husband as my best friend. Like I had Amanda and the Stuffies and that was it. And so that really helped me come to a place of like getting uncomfortable and coming to a spot. Because there were times where like I said something and I thought it was a great punchline and she was like, I don't vibe with that, but I still continued to deliver. And when I finally did, most of the audience, maybe she didn't find that was funny, but most of the audience did. Yeah. So you don't have to go from riding around the block to freaking biking 240 miles. Like, I like that he focuses on starting small, taking baby steps, because when you have these ambitions, they can be very big. It can be very intimidating.
For sure. And then last but definitely not least, he talks about like recognizing and developing your why. And this is so important. We talk about it all the time. Your why fuels your ability to max out. You have to stay deeply connected to it. And, you know, the importance of having a strong why and the purpose behind your goals, because that purpose is going to be your driving force when tough times happen.
When that bike seat is really, really at the bottom of the Grand Canyon and you need to keep going, you're going to remember your why.
Yeah, because here's the thing, like when you're deeply connected to your why of why you're doing something, whether it's to create a better future for your family or to impact others positively, achieve personal fulfillment, like you'll find the energy to keep pushing forward. And you have to write down your why and place it somewhere where you'll see it daily, because it's a constant reminder to help you stay motivated when the journey gets tough. And I want to kind of touch on something that's off script on this, because when I'm thinking about this, I want people to also understand sometimes in seasons of life, like that why may change. So it's important for you to continuously go to this why. We always every year since, gosh, we've been doing it for so many years. It has to be at least like
100 years.
8 years, 9 years that we have every year we set family goals. So me, Dave, Angelina, and Trent, we sit down, we set family goals, and we keep doing it, we keep doing it. So this year, Angelina went away for school, and I was still trying to do our family goal calendar. And what I realized was I'm not going to do that family goal calendar anymore. And I came to peace with it because we did the family goal calendar so we could come together, teach the kids how to set goals, work through hard times. Like when Dave had his stroke or COVID happened, those family goals pulled us through those tough times, because that was our true north, to just keep doing good, positive habits, and we will be able to push ourselves forward. But what happened was when Trent moved away, I was still able to track his goals because we have Whoop bands and I communicate with him every single day, and I was still able to track them. When Angelina moved away, I do not talk to her on a daily basis. And by the time I would see her again, I'd be like, what workouts? And she would forget. So it was almost like, I'm like, I don't want to just be like making up or like guessing at what she did, because now that's diluting the integrity behind setting goals and achieving those goals. If we're just like guessing she did 6 workouts or she finished 2 books, that's not building their characters as humans. That's not setting them up for success. To set a goal, stay true to that goal, have integrity behind it, and then feel proud when you achieved it. Now we're all in these different places and spaces. So now this year, I talked to Dave the other night and I'm like, listen, like this is my thought process behind this. This no longer serves us as a family. It's not upholding that why anymore to move our family forward. This year, I want to sit down together and us each to set individual goals based around what success looks like to us in our lives. We will write them down and then we will cheer each other on in those goals. So for Angelina, it might be getting, a PR of 30 minutes on her 5K for cross country. For Trent, it might be getting the save percentage that puts him in the top 3 goalies in the league. For me, it might be
riding a bike across Michigan.
Yeah, riding a bike across Michigan, or recruiting 50 agents, or hitting this production goal, or whatever that is. For Dave, it might be to get this many additional weddings booked, senior photos booked, whatever. But I still want us to set goals, but I want it to be different so that it's still adhering to our why of moving our family forward and doing it together, of us cheering each other on and being able to stay accountable to those things and what that looks like for us.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. And, final thoughts is like his philosophy in Max Out is really all about mindset and execution. He doesn't just inspire you, he equips you with like Trisha was just saying, practical tools and tips to start making immediate changes in your life. Because I feel like so often like people read these books and then they go away and they don't really have the inspiration or the motivation to start right away. Or they'll read the book and they'll be like, wow, those action steps feel really big. He really gives you stuff that you can do right away as soon as you finish reading the book or as you're going through it. This book is a call to action for anybody who is ready to unlock their full potential and, live life to the fullest. And I'm looking forward to reading it in 2020.
Grab it on Amazon. It's super cheap. You can grab it right off of Amazon. And that takes us to our next book, which is another very quick and easy read. This is another one I read in like 2 pages, little paperback, quick and easy to get through, direct to the points. And it's The 4 Agreements.
So I've heard so many people talk about this book. This is also on my 2025 reading list. And you've read this and Andy's read this. Is this just an entrepreneurial book or
no?
Okay.
No, this is a book for everybody. It's like your 4 life agreements. And I highly suggest every single person on the planet reads this book.
Is it on audiobook? I bet it is.
Yeah, you can get it on audiobook or like I said, it's a quick and easy paperback. I actually gave my copy to Jenna. So if you want to check in with Jenna and see if she read it, you can get that copy from her. But he's introducing the wisdom of the ancient Toltec civilization, offering a guide to living a life of freedom, love, and authenticity. So the book centers around just 4 very simple but profound agreements you make with yourself to break free from like the limiting beliefs we set on ourselves, the fear. It just gives you these like very simple 4 steps to live a better life.
I love it. So one of them is just be impeccable with your word because it shapes your reality. So words are incredibly powerful. Trish and I talk about this a lot. Remember when we started coaching and I was like, I'm just Hot Mess Express. I'm Hot Mess Express. And you were like, Kylee, I need you to stop saying that about yourself because it is mentally impacting you. And you are living in a space where if you keep saying that, that's going to be your normal. And that is not where you want to be. Hot Mess Express, Kylee did die last year, or 2024, so it's good. So they're very powerful, our words are. They create the lens through which we see ourselves and the world. And so he emphasizes the importance of using your words to speak truthfully, positively, and with integrity. So this applies not only to how you communicate with others, but also your self-talk. Also, like avoiding gossip, exaggeration, negativity, strive to uplift and inspire through what you say. And we talked about this in another episode where we were discussing reframing failure as learning, as success, as growth. And it really does come down to your language of what you're telling yourself. And you're constantly saying, what is the story that you are telling yourself? Because that is what's going to play out.
Yeah, and another thing, I just want to remind people because I feel like right now is a very stressful time, in the calendar, in the world, blah, 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 blah. But it's all about your mindset and your perception. What are you focusing on? And when people, they start having these conversations, and I've been very reflective of the conversations that I'm having, and I've been trying to be more careful about what I'm talking about and who I'm talking about it with. Because when you sit and you vent, right?
Yep.
You relive those emotions.
Science.
So if you are going through a stressful deal in real estate and you go tell this person and you go to the next office, tell this person, you go to the next person, tell this, and I will listen to people in the office do this and they get more and more angry every single door they go to. It was you. Every time they tell the story, they get more and more angry and louder and louder and louder because you're putting your body through those emotions over and over and over again. So venting is actually scientifically not good for you because you're making your body experience bad emotions over and over and over again. It's the same with gossip. I am trying, and again, none of us are perfect. We're so far from perfect. And I am always, always working on myself because I'll get good at something like staying away from gossip. And then somehow you backslide. And it's like that with anything.
And what had happened was.
Yeah. And so I'm trying to be so careful. We just had some stuff happen and people are talking about it. And when I get pulled into these conversations and they're like, well, I always knew he was like that. I'm trying so very hard to be very careful about what I say because I don't want to gossip about people. I don't want to run people's name through the mud. And even if they did do me wrong, I don't want to put my body through those emotions again. So I try to listen to what they say and, yep, exactly what you're feeling. Those feelings are valid. I agree. And then trying to redirect those conversations because I just don't want to be in that place, in that space. I don't want to be a part of negative talk. I keep saying this over and over again to everybody I'm talking to. Like, I want to level up the conversations I'm having because I feel like if we're talking about better things and more positive things and, tell me 2 goals that you're looking to achieve in 2025 and why are those important to you? We're going to get in better conversations instead of this guy was a jerk. Can you believe he did that? Yeah. Dude, I don't want to be that person anymore.
Yeah. And the next thing is, from the book is not taking anything personally because it's not about you.
Yeah.
And this is hard because we all live in our own heads, right? We're all the center of our own universe. And so people's actions and words are a reflection of their own realities, experiences, emotions, and not yours. So when you internalize other people's criticisms or negativity or even praise or judgment, he talks about giving away your power and he encourages detachment from the external validation and judgment, which will allow you to live more freely and authentically. And this is something I just kind of experienced recently. There was a situation with my friend. There was a misunderstanding and it kind of got really convoluted and it was bothering me. Remember, I was just like holding on to it. And it was not even like a super big deal. Literally not a big deal. But I was holding on to it because I was like, man, I don't want that person to think badly about me or I don't want them telling other people that they're thinking badly about me. And I came to a spot where I was like, you know what? I can't control other people's thoughts, words, nothing. I can just continue to live righteously and walk in truth and do my very best to be the most honest, authentic person that I can be. And I let it go because you become so miserable and so congested and so anxious when you're holding on to what's this person think about me? What's that person think about me? And it's just so toxic. It just boils and festers.
Yeah, and the thing is like most of the time those people's responses aren't at all about you. Like I've used that example before. Like somebody's having just this awful day, like grandma died, the kids are going crazy, the dog ran away from the house, and you're upset about something else, and it gets reflected to a different person where it shouldn't be. And then you feel like shame and embarrassment, so you don't apologize. So they just think that you don't like them and there's a problem there. And like you said, it's just so convoluted. Like how people are thinking or talking or what they're doing, like it has nothing to do with you. It doesn't. Like you just keep doing you and you just keep being positive and like everything's going to be fine.
And that brings us to the next takeaway, which is always do your best, but remember your best changes daily. And I want to circle back to the why that you were talking about because I remember in the story we were talking about when you were running the Las Vegas Marathon and your first why was I just have to show up. And then your second why was, well, I got to keep up with Andy. And then your third why was, I got to cheer these people on. So like your why can continue to change and that's okay. Life is dynamic and so are energy levels, resources, circumstances change. So Ruiz teaches that, doing your best doesn't mean striving for perfection. It really just means giving your very best effort that you can. And Trisha's always saying like everybody's just doing the best they can with what they have. And you're doing the best with what you have in any given moment. And when you honor this principle, you really eliminate a lot of self-judgment, a lot of regret, and like you're able to foster a lot more inner peace. And I find this with myself, like at the end of the day, there's always more to do, like in real estate and life, in motherhood and wifery, like there's always more, but I come to a spot and like sometimes I will tell myself out loud, I'm done. Like there are still dishes in the sink. I'm done. There are still pages to read. I'm done. There are still clients who want questions answered on houses. They will all be there tomorrow. I did my very best. I'm tapped out. Like I need to recharge.
Yeah, your 100% looks different every day.
It does. And there are days where, like, when you crawl out of bed and, like, you've got a migraine or you're sick and you're like, my 100% is just survival mode, right?
Yeah, and that's okay, because one day you might completely smash it and you do like Superwoman, and then, you know, the next day you might need to recover a little bit, and it just looks like showing up for what you have to show up for.
Yep. And so this book, The 4 Agreements, it's a guidebook for inner peace and empowerment. Like Trisha said, I'm looking forward to reading it. You should all read it. So by incorporating these 4 principles, you can shed old habits of judgment, fear, self-doubt, and replace them with compassion and clarity and strength. And it's just a really straightforward yet very profound framework for living an intentional and fulfilling life.
Yeah, and that brings us to our third book, which is, I mean, these are all my favorites. But it's Relentless by Tim Grover. And this book, you guys, it's a must-have. We actually like built out an entire program at Elite Realty one time based on this book.
Is that right?
I used to give it to all of my new recruits because it is
the cleaners.
Good. Yes, the cleaners. Yeah. So Tim Grover, he is a legendary performance coach. He works with elite athletes. He was the guy who coached Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, and he takes readers behind the scenes of what it truly takes to achieve greatness. Relentless is not about comfort or balance. It's not. It is a raw and unfiltered guide to the mindset, habits, and drive needed to excel at the highest level. If you are trying to be a top performance and take your game to the next level and break through glass ceilings, this book is for you. And Andy went and got a copy of it and had Tim Grover sign it for Trent because we were like, dude, you have to read this book. Like, it really is absolutely amazing. And we're going to take a break and then come back and unpack everything in this fantastic book.
Did you know that over 80% of real estate agents call it quits within their first year in the business? It's a staggering statistic. But at mystarsacademy.com, we're here to change that narrative. Our expert-based training and coaching program caters to both agents and brokers. The Agent Accelerator program is your key to leveling up your real estate business. Learn how to generate a constant flow of free leads, convert those leads into loyal clients, and keep them coming back for more as repeat business. Our industry experts bring years of proven success to the table and provide one-on-one coaching to help you achieve structure and work-life balance. We'll map out a plan for you to follow, guiding you through the steps to scale and grow both in your business and personal life. Don't become another statistic. Visit mystarsacademy.com and enroll today to pave the way for your future success.
And we are back. We were talking about the book Relentless by Tim Grover, and we were just about to talk about the key takeaways. And this was actually how we revamped our compensation plan and our agent tier at Elite Realty. The only thing is if nobody's read the book, it's not the best
I'm gonna read
action
it.
step.
I'm gonna read it.
But in the book, he differentiates between coolers, closers, and cleaners. And the aim is to become a cleaner. Now, what I like about this is he is very clear that the world needs all of these people.
Okay.
The world needs coolers, the world needs closers, the world needs cleaners. So he's not saying like, if you aren't the best of the best of the best, you're poop. He's saying like, recognize which level you're at and work to get to the next level if that's a goal of yours.
Okay, I like it. I'm into it already. Okay, so coolers are people who are dependable, but only under specific conditions and limited pressure. Closers deliver excellent results, but may falter when things don't exactly go according to plan. And cleaners are relentless. They thrive under pressure, adapt to any situation, and consistently dominate without excuses. So he says that a cleaner doesn't wait for permission, doesn't stop after success, and operates with unshakable confidence and focus. And Tim really challenges readers to aim for this highest level of performance.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can tell he was Michael Jordan's coach, right?
Yeah,
like
for
that
sure.
unwavering determination, not just to win, but to dominate. So it's not just like, I'm going to, work really hard this year to get the Diamond Award. I'm going to dominate and be top producer in volume and units, Kylie B, right? So that's what he's saying here. Like, you could be a cooler and like, you're dependable. Like, if you say you're going to walk the dog, you'll probably walk the dog. But then if it starts like storming, then, like maybe I'm not going to walk the dog today, right? Like, that would be a cooler. And then like a closer, like, they're pretty steady, but like if things don't go according to plan, they might be like, oh, it's just been a bad day, I'm going to call it,
So like they'll say they'll walk the dog and they'll walk the dog in the rain until they
get all muddy and then they're going to go home.
Okay.
Right? Like, this just isn't working out. I'm just going to go home and call it a day. And then they don't do anything else. Whereas a cleaner, they're going to get the dog, they're going to walk the dog, they're going to get muddy, they're going to clean their mud up, they're going to then go clean the house up, they're going to then go do this, and this. Like, it's not affecting them whether it's raining or it's snowing or they're muddy or they're not, or they have a broken ankle and they have to do it on crutches. Like, it doesn't matter the circumstances, they're getting it done. So like Trisha at 3 a.m. doing the sock drawer because if it's on the 411, it must get done whether my kids and husband think I'm crazy.
It was Trisha with a broken shoulder in the ER, coming out of the ER, going to the office, writing checks, getting on a plane, flying to Vegas, running a marathon, coming home and falling apart.
That's it. That's a cleaner.
That's a cleaner. So obviously this leads to the fact that success demands mental toughness and you have to embrace challenges. And Grover really emphasizes that greatness comes from mental fortitude more than physical skill or talent. Mental toughness is about pushing through discomfort, handling criticism, and staying focused even when things are tough. And rather than avoiding challenges, embracing them as opportunities to grow and prove your resilience. That is an amazing message.
Yeah. And I mean, I love his message because I think it's contrary to very like pop culture right now, because he says, don't strive for balance, aim for controlled chaos in pursuit of excellence. And I say this all the time. Like, I'm sorry, friends, you can cancel me, but I don't feel like balance exists. I don't feel like it exists, because when you are winning in one bucket, another bucket is taking the brunt of
just life,
not getting the attention.
You have to sacrifice something in order to get something else. It's like we've talked about before. Saying yes to one thing is saying no to something else. So we don't live in this like world of limitless energy and limitless time and limitless resources. And so you have to, I agree with you. I used to feel like life-work balance was a thing, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not. And I have to.
You have to make peace with it.
You do. I was thinking about this yesterday. Obviously, I spent a lot of time thinking yesterday.
She has stated this in every single episode we've recorded so far.
But, like Grover, he debunks the idea of balance, and he argues that like greatness requires prioritizing what matters most and being fully immersed in that process, because controlled chaos means managing multiple demands with focus and determination, and understanding that achieving greatness often comes at the expense of comfort and balance. And why I was thinking about this was one of my friends, like I always see her in like, she's at the Lions game with this friend, and she's going on this thing with this friend, and I'm reading the Eat, Pray, Love book, and she's talking about how she made all these friends, and she's going to this dinner, and I'm like, man, it must be nice to like have all those friends that like you hang out with. And I'm like, I really don't have friends that I hang out with. And like, I do have some great core friends, like my friend Alicia, Kylie, right? But like, I see you at work and family events. Like, we're not just hanging out. And when we try to hang out, it's so freaking hard. We cancel on each other 100 times. Alicia.
We understand we're dog ass tired.
Yeah. Like, I ran a marathon with her in January. I have not seen her again. It's December, right? Like, my friend Nicole, I've got to see her once. She's been back for 6 months. But that is because like, I am all in on like my business this, and like I had to graduate this year, and I had like all of these big, hairy, audacious goals that I needed to achieve. And I surround myself with this core group of friends like you and Alicia and Nicole, who are high achievers, high producers. They're also balancing a lot of buckets. So we give each other grace that like we love each other and we will pick up right where we left off. Like,
absolutely.
Like Nicole, I hadn't seen her in like 3 or 4 years. And the only time I did see her is when Trent had a game in Arizona. And so I went and visited her in Arizona. And that was it in like a span of like 3 to 4 or 5 years. And when she moved back here and we went to lunch, it was like she had never ever been gone. Like we see each other and like, cause we voice note each other every single day. So we talk every day, you know, or me and you, we're texting each other, we're voice noting each other, we're emailing each other, we're seeing each other in the office. So even if we don't have a girl hangout day or have these great dinners or like these things that I'm reading about or watching in books, it's because we are high achievers and we are working to be closers and cleaners and be the best versions of ourselves. So there isn't going to be that life balance. You're not going to win and be the best wife and be the best friend and have a thriving business and have this and. It does not exist. And you have to make peace with that. And you'll have to continue to make peace with that.
And I think that you have to, just like segueing here, because it's so funny that we're talking about this, because like I told you this morning, I saw Mom in school when I was dropping Casey's meds off. I love her to death. She's got 4 kids. I've got 3 kids. We both run our own. I saw Sarah. And so I was like, oh my God, I ran up, smooched her right on the cheek, gave her a hug. And she's like, I miss you. I love you. And I'm like, I miss you. I love you too. I will see you in a month.
Yeah.
Because, and then my best friend, Amanda, she is, my best good friend, Amanda, she is, she's a nanny. She's got a kid. She coaches baseball for Braxton's team. Like she does all of these things. And so it's like, she was texting me and we're trying to coordinate to go see Santa Claus. And she's like, I feel like we never talk and I never see you. And I have had so many people say that to me in the last quarter. And I'm like, but you know what? I tell them, I'm like, I've been head down grinding. I have been head down grinding. I have been head down grinding.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. And all my people know it. Like the people who truly care about me and understand like what I'm doing and what I'm aiming for. Like I hit my top producer goal. I pretty much hit my income goal. Like I hit my goals. I can have a social life again. I can relax just a little bit. And then January 1st, we're starting all over. You know, but you have to understand, you have to make peace with that. And you have to accept that some people aren't going to understand and appreciate that. But it's fine. Just move along.
Yeah. I mean, and that's why I love this book, because it is not for the faint of heart. It is a bold and unapologetic guide to cultivating a champion mindset. Tim Grover challenges readers to embrace discomfort, to take full ownership of their outcomes, and aim for excellence in every aspect of their life. And this book is a wake-up call for anyone who's ready to break through limits and achieve their highest potential. So this should be on your 2025 read list.
Why don't I read this one first? I'll read this one first.
Definitely should. And I think that I'm going to reread it, because even though I've already read it, I feel like I loved this book so much. And actually, when Trent was packing to leave this year, I slipped it in his suitcase, because I know like during the winter, obviously there's not a lot to do when there's 60 inches of snow right now in the UK. And I love it. Like I feel like people don't understand, like when you look at, you know, an Olympic athlete, they have no balance in their life. They're not hanging out with friends, dude. They're not eating chocolate
going
cake.
Out and drinking. They're
Absolutely
not. Doing any of that.
They are measuring their chicken. They are analyzing every move they make in the gym. Every single second of their life is devoted to being a champion. And if everybody on this planet picks something to be a champion at, if it was being a stay-at-home mom, if it was being the best kindergarten teacher on the planet, if it was being the best realtor on the planet, if everybody went for the level of success and championship that Tim Grover puts out in this book, like the world would be an amazing place.
Okay.
I love it.
Next, we are talking about another one of your very favorite books, The Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes. Is that right? Rhimes?
Yes.
Rhimes. So in this candid and very inspiring memoir, Shonda, the creator of the hit TV show, she did Grey's Anatomy. She did Scandal, which Grey's Anatomy I never saw. Okay. I'm officially canceled. So she shares how a simple decision to say yes changed her entire life. So known for her creative genius, but like also very introverted, I guess she is. She found herself stuck in a routine of avoidance and fear. And I feel like a lot of people are in that space right now. So over the course of a year, she committed to saying yes to opportunities, invitations, and challenges that once terrified her. And we talked about this before, where your growth comes from being uncomfortable. And so over the course of the year, she committed to saying yes. And this journey not only transformed her personal life, but also redefined her approach to happiness and authenticity and success.
Dude, I loved this book so much. And this one I actually suggest doing on Audible because she reads it. And I literally canceled my whole day because I started listening to it and I was in the gym and I was in the gym for 3 hours and I couldn't stop listening to it. And I literally canceled the rest of my day and listened to it. And I've listened to it twice since then. I loved listening to this book. It was so good. And the fact that this woman, who is an absolute powerhouse. I mean, everybody, whether you've watched or not, everybody knows Grey's Anatomy.
Everybody knows
Everybody knows Scandal. This woman owned Thursday night on ABC. Like, she is an absolute legend. And to listen to her tell the story about how, like, the president of the United States is inviting her out, and she's like, no, I'm good. Like, she was just, like, stuck in this space. And it's like, oh, my gosh, like, if this is how somebody who's, like, so accomplished, like, it was just so amazing to, like, know that people at this level, like, she's got unlimited funds, unlimited invitations, unlimited,
they have
like,
the same problems we do.
They have the same problems we do. And then to watch her do this teeny tiny thing of saying yes, no matter how scary it was, and just do that, like, oh, I love it. I can't get over
so step one, key takeaway number one from this book is stepping out of your comfort zone can lead to unexpected growth. Like we talked about before, you can't grow when you don't go, okay? Yeah. So Rhimes discovered that her fear of public speaking, attending social events, and trying new things was holding her back from opportunities for connection and growth, probably personally and professionally. And by confronting those fears and stepping into discomfort, she realized her potential and opened doors she didn't know existed. And I immediately think of all the people I know who have social anxiety. And it's so funny because I have a friend and she is very socially anxious. Like, she won't call and order pizza. She won't call and make doctor's appointments. She's slowly getting better because we're grown-ups. But I mean, like, she, even as a grown-up, like, gets super anxious about calling and ordering pizza. Whereas me, I'll stand up and I'll teach a room full of people I don't know how to write a freaking award-winning purchase agreement. But we go to a kid's birthday party and she is Miss Social Butterfly. She talks to everyone. She knows everyone. And I'm in the corner like, I don't have anything in common with these people. I don't want to talk to anyone. I want to go home. So, like, especially if you are having social anxiety or you suffer from that, like, this book is going to be amazing for you.
Yeah. And I think the other thing that I loved about it is she doesn't just say yes to other people. She says yes to herself.
Okay.
And that is so important. We talk about it on many episodes. You have to say yes to yourself. You have to take care of yourself. You have to say yes to exercising. You have to say yes to eating some vegetables. You have to say yes to getting that once a month massage. You have to continuously say yes to yourself because, like they say, like, you can't pour from an empty cup. And, you know, all the time we're saying yes to everybody else, or we're not leaving any space for ourselves. So you have to schedule that time and focus, whether it's a hobby, whether it's exercise, whatever. Saying yes to yourself gives you strength to grow into your best self.
And it says, you know, like, when you're saying yes to something, you're saying no to something else. So you are having to say no when necessary to avoid burnout, you know, to avoid crossing those boundaries that you so carefully laid in the sand. You know, self-care, like, we don't think about it because I feel like our generation, like we talked about before, it's not something we grew up with. Like, my mom wasn't like, oh, it's self-care day. Oh, it's treat yourself day. You know, I know sure as hell your mama didn't do that.
No.
You know, so this is a new space for us. But I love you impressed in me so long ago when you told me don't go to baby showers. I don't go to birthday parties. I say no. And there are people in my life who get offended because I'm saying no, but I'm saying yes to something else, either that's going to improve my family or improve my personal fitness or help me move toward my goals, instead of spending 3 hours at a baby shower, which I would rather, when the baby's born, let me go hold your baby for an hour. Like,
and I always send a gift.
She does. And she came and held my baby.
I did.
And you brought really good food too. So
I did go to your baby shower though.
You did. Mm-hmm. You did go to the baby shower. So it was just very eye-opening, because I feel like we have so much social pressure to do these things. Especially when you told me it's okay not to volunteer.
Yeah.
It's okay not to go on the field trips. I'm struggling right now because Casey's going to go to 5th grade camp, and I'm just like, I want to go with her. I want to be there. I'm going to let her out, and like she's going to be like there with people I don't know and people I don't like. And so it's okay to say no to other
things. Because that's where they grow. They have to be able to grow without you. A lot of people, and I will tell you, don't let people give you feelings about that either, because a lot of people try to give me all these feelings about sending Angelina to seminary. I could never let my 15-year-old just move out. This is a college preparatory school that's going to prepare her for life. She is now able to be completely self-sufficient. She is able to do her own laundry, to plan her own days, to function and wake herself up in the morning. She will be immediately fed into a great college and be set up with a great job. So I don't care that you wouldn't let your daughter ever go away at 15 years old, because I like to set my children up for success, and the way that success looks and feels to me is different from you, and I don't feel bad about that. So just because that works for you and it doesn't work for me, I don't care. Now, that was a tool that I had to work on. And I will tell you, sometimes people still break through those barriers. Like, one person did say something and I got really upset about it. And then I'm like, you know what? No, I don't have to care about this, because you know what she said? She turned around and looked at me after her first week at camp and was like, I love it here so much. And she doesn't even call us back now. She doesn't even want to come home. She's like, I'm here, living my best life. And with the baby showers and stuff, right? You don't have to make a hard and fast rule that you don't go to anyone's baby shower. But if it's somebody that's for example, one of Dave's family members that he sees 3 times a year is getting married, and they invited me to her shower. Now, when I get an invite and I don't even know who the person is or the person who's putting it on is, I'm not going to go to that baby shower, okay? If it's you and I am available and I have the space and I want to go, I'm going to go. But if it's that instance, I'm just going to send a gift. I love and appreciate, and please do invite me. Please invite me to all the things. I don't want to not be invited. I just want to feel okay and safe to be able to say no if it doesn't feel like a full body yes to me. And that's one of the things she talks about in this book. Every choice you make should feel like a full body yes, and it should bring you joy. If I'm sitting here dreading going to something, that's not going to bring me joy.
Right.
I need to say no to that. And I have to keep bringing myself back to that place all the time and asking myself,
because people are judgy as hell.
yeah, is this a full body yes for me? Is it not a full body yes out of fear, like Running Man, because I'm making excuses because I feel like I might fail? Or is it no, because I've already overbooked myself with so much stuff that this is just going to not be fun for me because I'm so overbooked and I'm so tired and I'm so stressed.
You're going to be there thinking about all the shit you're not getting done.
Yeah, and I will come to the wedding. And I'll bring in other gifts and I'll dance and eat some food, I don't have to be every step of the way though,
Yeah, and she talks about, how joy comes from embracing vulnerability and celebrating wins. And she shares how allowing herself to be vulnerable, expressing her true self, and celebrating her successes brought her a sense of fulfillment that she had been missing, much like what I think you were just talking about. And by dropping the perfectionist mask and embracing her humanity, she found authentic joy in her personal and her professional life. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. It's a powerful reminder that life's richest experiences come from embracing change, saying yes to new possibilities, and taking ownership of your joy. Shonda Rhimes' journey is both relatable and empowering, making this book an inspiring read for anyone. I'm super excited. I have 5,000 credits on Audible because I'm constantly listening to Daily Wire and Officer Tatum. So that's on 2025. Monday through Friday, we're doing audibles. Saturday and Sunday, I'll catch up on Daily Wire.
I love that idea for you.
Put it on the coaching plan. So number 5, The Road Back to You by Ian Morgan Cron and Susan Stabile.
I don't know. This one is on my list. I have not read this one.
Okay, so The Road Back to You serves as an accessible and insightful introduction to the Enneagram, an ancient personality framework that categorizes people into 9 distinct types. Okay.
Oh, this is that Enneagram. Okay, so Pastor Stephen Furtick's wife, Holly Furtick, talks about
Enneagram.
What numbers you are. Like, I'm a 6 and he's a 3. And they have like things that go together with that.
Okay, so in the book, they combine storytelling, humor, practical advice to help readers discover their Enneagram type. They explore their unique strengths and challenges and understand how their personality shapes their worldview. And by fostering self-awareness, the book encourages readers to embrace growth and cultivate meaningful connections with others. This is very interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, self-awareness it's so key to your personal and professional relationships, and understanding what your Enneagram type is can allow you to see how your personality impacts your actions and decisions and interactions with other people. And it definitely highlights like patterns in your behavior, your emotional triggers, your motivations, and helps you to like kind of navigate those challenges and build healthier relationships. So it's all about just like having a high social IQ. Like, I think that's really important, and something that even if you don't have one, if you practice and you read and you learn, you can develop that. And it's a really important trait.
Yeah, and I think it will obviously help you in business and in your personal life. Like the example is, if you're a type 1, the perfectionist, you might realize that your drive for excellence can lead to being overly critical of yourself and others, Trisha. Yes. And recognizing this allows you to practice self-compassion and communicate more effectively, where if you're a type 7, the enthusiast, hi, I'm Kylee, you might excel at generating really great ideas and creating excitement, but struggle with follow-through. I can't wait to read this book. Oh, my God. And so by reading this book, you number 1, become more self-aware of your personality traits and how they affect your behavior and your worldview and other people's personality traits, so you can recognize those in other people, have a better understanding of where they're coming from in life, and have a better relationship with them because you are more understanding of how they're operating on the inside.
Yeah, and I think that this is so important for leaders as well. Like, there's the DISC type test. There's a lot of these different tests and things, but for a leader, it's I joke around all the time, like, I have all of these children and I'm the mom, and you guys have actually started calling me mom.
We do!
And I do that because everybody has their own characteristics, and I have to learn those characteristics and how people respond and what they respond well to, because the way I talk to Kylee is not the way I talk to Riley, is not the way I talk to Jenna, is not the way I talk to Beth, because you're all individuals and you have your own responses because you had your own life experience.
Yeah, you just beat me with a damn stick. That's all.
Does it work?
So this book also talks about recognizing and leveraging your strengths while addressing blind spots, like we were just talking about, becoming more self-aware of your personality, your strengths, and then addressing maybe your weaknesses or things about yourself that like you just didn't think about or you didn't know about yourself and the way that you think and the way you're behaving. And again, understanding others, what did you call it? Enneagram?
Enneagram, yeah.
Enneagram.
Yeah.
Fosters empathy and teamwork. I love this. I'm so excited to read this book. I can't even deal with it now.
Oh, I love it too. It makes your life easier when you can realize and recognize that if you can handle people in a different way. Like, I always use this example. I know with Andy, I cannot say you should XYZ, because as soon as he hears the word should, done. So I have actually completely done this all around. I'll say, instead of saying, well, Kylee, you should do XYZ, I'll say, well, if it were me, I would execute it in this way. Does that make sense for you? And they'll say yes or no. And I have found that me changing just that one little thing that I realized with him changes my interactions with everybody.
Yeah.
And it makes it a lot easier to coach and train.
It feels
most
less
people.
condescending and less demanding and less judgmental.
Because nobody, like, obviously it's like being a kid with a parent, right? When a parent says you should blah, 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 you're like, yeah, well, you're not the boss of me. Shut up.
Trisha, you are the boss of me. So,
all right, go through 6 real quick.
Lifting Heavy Things by Laura Khoudari. Did you read this book?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Lifting Heavy Things is a groundbreaking book that bridges the gap between mental and physical health, introducing trauma-informed strength training as a pathway to emotional healing. Ooh. Laura is a trauma practitioner and strength coach, and she reveals how lifting weights can be a powerful tool for building resilience, reconnecting with your body, and processing trauma. The book provides practical exercises and gentle guidance for creating a safe, empowering fitness routine that supports both physical and emotional growth. I'm sold.
I am too, dude. So she talks healing and strength go hand in hand, emphasizing that physical strength training is more than just a way to build muscle. It can also help process and release stored emotional trauma. I feel this because when Roy passed away, I would just run and cry. So this makes total sense, and I am super excited to read it.
I don't know what kind of trauma I have, but we gonna find out.
Start lifting them weights.
Yep, she talks about small intentional steps to build resilience over time, and each step forward, no matter how small, contributes to long-term success. We've talked about this. Physical health is foundational to showing up effectively in life and business. You have preached on this so many times. I can't even count on my hand and feet, but I will agree that when you are physically well, you're mentally well, you're professionally well, and everything is well. Everything is fine.
Look good, feel good, play good. And that's what we got for part 1. We need you to come back for part 2 next Thursday because we have more amazing.
The next 6 books to revolutionize your life. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the show, and come back next week because part 2 is going to blow your bloody socks off.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us today on the Elite Life Podcast with Trish and Kylee. Don't forget to share this episode with a friend so we can keep delivering you more fantastic insights on grit, grace, and growth. Stay connected with us on Instagram and Facebook, where we'll keep the ideas flowing to help you build a life you love and leave a legacy you can be proud of. Until next time.